Good morning, welcome to the allotment. It's a very dull day. It's the middle of October, so we're very much getting ready for the winter, preparing the beds, and done a fair bit of work. Just want to share with you some of the work I've done. Okay, so this area had two blackcurrant bushes and a gooseberry bush, which I've dug out and covered the area and then put two compost bins in. The compost bins have been partially filled as well. So the blackcurrant bushes, you can see in this area here, we aren't allowed to burn rubbish every week. So our first burn will be the first weekend in November. So these blackcurrant bushes and the gooseberry bush, which is buried underneath there, will go on, and then this bed will be then prepared. So as you can see, I have got an incinerator to use as well. The other thing I did was dug out the path. So you can see the path's been dug out and replaced, and the things I dug out, the chip-ins have been thrown onto there. It needs a bit of a sort out. There's a few weeds in there as well, but those will be taken out, and then that will be spread on this bed. Just quickly look at the other beds. So if I walk up this side, you can see this hasn't been done. This quarter's still got to be done on this. Put a new path in that goes right the way across. So we've got these beds here are prepared. This one will need weeding, so some things have come through. The straw that was put on earlier in the year. These are the cabbages. We've started to use these, harvest and use those. I've got the parsnips that they need a bit of weeding, but the parsnips are growing away well there. And we've also got the leeks coming on well, although I've noticed a bit of rust on the leeks. So this is very much the winter patch, this little quarter, and then the rest of this plot is pretty much getting prepared for winter. The only other bits we've got growing on here, I'll take you down, are the chrysanthemums, but we've got the sprouts growing away in the sprout cage, and some of those are ready to pick. On the other plot, beds are being prepared, ready, covered. These are the gooseberry bushes. These will need to be pruned back. So these went in this year, and they've just been left pretty much. So at the end of the year, they'll have a prune. Okay, a few other things that are growing. So we've got some we've got some calabrese and some cauliflowers, and we've got some kale. So in there you can see hopefully the cauliflower and calabrese, and over this side you can see the kale. Okay, the rain is just about to start, so let's get in the polytunnel. Okay, so in the polytunnel, I've got a couple of jobs to do today. So you can see hopefully that I've carried on stripping out everything in the polytunnel. There'll be some more done today, but the main job to do today is this bed here, which I prepared mainly yesterday. So this has been cleared of weeds. There's some chicken pellets been added. I'm going to get some of my own compost and put on the top. So I'll set the camera up in here and talk you through exactly what I'm going to do. So it's starting to rain now, so I'm stuck inside doing this bed. So what I'm going to do is quickly try and nip out, get some of my own compost, just put a bit of a top onto this bed, and then we're going to plant the onions and the garlic. So I've got some normal garlic and some elephant garlic to go in, and the onions are radar, so there's 50 sets in there, so that will take the whole length of this top bed, and the onions will be at the back and the garlic will be at the front. Okay, so I'll go and see if I can find some compost at one of the compost bins, hopefully not get too wet, and just put a little top dress on this bed. Don't know if you can hear the rain coming down, but the next job is just to spread this. I do have a self-watering system in here. It's a CPOs connected to a big 1,000-litre water trough at the back. It just keeps the moisture in. But over the winter I don't tend to use that, but I will leave it in place. Over winter I tend to water the garlic and the onions once a week, or when I think they need it. I don't use the SEPA hose, so that it's left in situ, but it doesn't, I don't have the water running through it over the winter period. So all I'm doing now is trying to get the bed roughly level, so all the summer crops that depleted it of all the goodness, got some of my own compost and the chicken pellets that I put over yesterday, those will all dissolve in and replenish the bed, and that should be sufficient for growing these onions and garlic. So I'll get on with the rest of the bed, get it level, and then we'll look at planting the onions and the garlic. Okay, so I'll put the marker in for the first row of onions, or the only row of onions I should say. So now it's just a case of placing the onions out. As I said, these are radar. These are a good winter onion. We've grown these before. To be honest, these were the only ones that we could find when we went around the nursery, so we've decided to go with them again. We could have gone around a few other nurseries, I suppose, and picked some up, but these will do. You can hear the rain coming down now. So just plant these out. Just push them into the ground, somewhere around 6 inches apart. They're not big onions. The bed's got a lot of goodness in. Make sure I get them all the right way up. Decided this year not to plant any outside. I did a trial last year where I planted some inside, some outside, and the ones inside performed much better than the ones outside. So they're just going to all go inside this year. Okay, so I've put all the onions in. The next job is to sort out the garlic. So as I said, I've got some elephant garlic. We do like to use the elephant garlic. It's got a much milder taste than traditional garlic. So I'm just breaking this bulb into individual cloves. And I'll show you these on camera. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Right. Just share with you what I've actually got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll show you these on camera. So I've got 7. If you can see those, there is 7 cloves of garlic there, and these need to be planted at a depth. So just place them out, and what I'm going to do is put a marker. I forgot the labels, so I'll put a marker there to show where I've got to in terms of the elephant garlic. And for these, luckily I saw some research online where people had tried different planting methods, and they found that it didn't really matter what method they used for planting. So I'm just going to plant these 2 or 3 inches deep. That's what I did last year, and like I say, we had a good crop of both onions and garlic last year, so I'm going to follow the same method. And just need another marker for the other end. Don't need a marker for the onions because they're just placed on the top effectively, so we can see where those are, but the garlic definitely needs a marker. So in terms of the elephant garlic, we saved our own, like the other garlic. Move my marker now. Need to start from there. Okay, so as I was saying, we saved our own garlic. So we're growing. We haven't bought any garlic at all this year. So I've got the same process to follow with the other garlic, and I'll switch the camera back on when I've planted all of that. Okay, so that's the garlic planted. So 27 cloves of garlic have gone in, and 7 cloves of elephant garlic. So hopefully we'll get a nice crop of garlic next year, and that occupies the whole of this top bed. So that's my main job that I wanted to get done today. The other jobs I've got to get done now are just some clearing of the rest of the tunnel, so I'll get on with that. I'll put the camera away. So that's the end of the video for today, and hopefully I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye.